Introducing the new DAZN Boxing Show podcast. No matter the time or the place, getting your boxing content has become easier than ever. Tune in as we give you exclusive insights, predictions, fight night recaps, and more alongside the biggest names in the game. All for free. Available globally every Thursday across all audio streaming platforms and with new episodes dropping weekly to give you the latest news. Just type in the DAZN Boxing Show podcast, listen in, and enjoy.
Well, Sergio, Devin Haney is officially done with George Kambosos, defending his lightweight titles against Kambosos in a lopsided decision win last weekend. Haney has one fight left on his deal with Top Rank, and Bob Arum has been vocal that if Vasiliy Lomachenko defeats Jermaine Ortiz later this month, he wants Haney to face Lomachenko next. Sergio, Haney has options now that he is no longer contractually bound to Kambosos. Should he face Lomachenko next?
Yes, I like this fight, Mannix. I love this fight for Haney because Haney was calling out Lomachenko when no one was calling him out. So now that he holds all the belts, he has all the marbles on his side, he has all the leverage, all the attention. Why don't you give Lomachenko a shot? Lomachenko, you know, will face anybody. He'll fight anybody, anytime, anywhere. So I love this fight. I think Haney, you know, he became undisputed by beating one fighter in Kambosos. Now he can really prove that he cleaned out the division if he can beat Lomachenko. Lomachenko is one of the best at 135 still. And I think it might be prime time, maybe not prime picking, but prime time for a bigger fighter in Haney who's maybe outgrowing the division to have one more fight at 135 against one of the best fighters at 135.
It's a great fight, no doubt about it. And it's a potentially legacy-defining fight for Devin Haney. More important, I would argue, than the fights that secured him all the belts at 135. That's how special a fighter Vasiliy Lomachenko is. It would be a huge fight as well in New York or Las Vegas, a pay-per-view in the US. So I understand how big the fight is. I just think it's a bad call for Devin Haney. I watched that weigh-in, Sergio, for the Kambosos fight. Devin Haney did not look good. That was not the look of a natural 135-pounder. That was the look of a fighter that was completely dried out and needed to squeeze every ounce of water out of his system just to make 135 pounds. Now, to his credit, he made the weight, as he always makes the weight, and it didn't affect him on fight night against Kambosos. But I'm reminded, Sergio, of something that Teofimo Lopez said in the aftermath of the Kambosos fight. He said, I should have just dropped the titles and moved up to 140 before Kambosos. Now, some might say that's just sour grapes, that's hindsight, but we knew going into that fight that Teofimo Lopez was having some trouble getting down to 135. And I think it's better for a fighter to leave a division one fight early than one fight too late. I think Teofimo, if you go back and ask him, of course, he'd say, I wish I dropped the belts and moved up to 140 before I fought Kambosos. I don't want to see Haney do or say the exact same type of thing. And it's not like going to 140 doesn't give him some incredibly appealing options. You look at 140 pounds, and it's one of the deeper divisions right now in all of boxing. Josh Taylor is still there, fighting at 140. Then there's Regis Prograis fighting for a title at 140. Then you're looking at the newcomers at 140. Teofimo Lopez gonna fight for a second time at that weight class in December. Ryan Garcia just debuted at 140 pounds. These are guys that are new to the division and figured to be in the division for a couple of years. So Devin Haney, he should just move up, drop the belts, take one fight to get used to 140 pounds, and then take on one of the title holders who will be eager to face him. Take on a Teofimo Lopez. Challenge Ryan Garcia in a fight that we've been talking about now for years. As much as I have wanted to see Teofimo, or rather, I wanted to see Lomachenko against Devin Haney, I don't think I want to see it anymore. That's because I don't think Devin Haney is a lightweight. I think right now he is a junior welterweight.
I like that idea, but if he has one more fight with Bob Arum, you know that top rank is going to want to make that Lomachenko fight. They're not going to want to just have a title defense. They're going to want a big fight out of Devin Haney. And I agree with you with outgrowing the weight class. He did look sucked up and dry, Devin Haney did, against Kambosos in this rematch. In the weigh-in, I've been there before, Mannix. I lost my title pretty much on the scale. You know, I was a shell of myself. Haney was still able to outclass Kambosos because he had youth on his side. But he can't continue sucking himself dry like that, moving up in a weight class that he clearly has outgrown. He's a big kid. I mean, he's 23, 24 years old. He has wide shoulders. He has a lot of weight to distribute that. So 140 is going to be the next division. But if he can get one more fight at 135 comfortably, Loma's the way to go, because that way, not only do you get a legend like Lomachenko on your resume, but you get the fight that you wanted before you were undisputed. And think about how that will make him feel, and the message he sends out to boxing. The fact that this is a kid in Devin Haney who reached all his dreams, making all the money in the world, and he still wants all the smoke. He still wants Lomachenko or Lomachenko, and he wants all that smoke. You got to give this kid credit, and he can probably be nominated for Fighter of the Year as well. I mean, this is what we're talking about in boxing: the best fighter, the best, and Loma still is one of the best.
He is, but I mean, we mentioned the weigh-in. I was watching the coverage during the week. You got Devin Haney wearing sunglasses at the press conference. That tells me that his eyes might be a little bit sunken and that he is struggling physically. Then there was the weigh-in where he was just all the way down. That did not.
I get it, man.
Sergio, hold on. One thing I was going to say to this too is, you're right. I don't think that Devin Haney would take a fight on the level of Lomachenko in his first fight at 140. Probably wouldn't even make sense to do a fight with Teofimo Lopez right away. But if you're Top Rank and Devin Haney vacates the belts, all of a sudden you're one step closer to making a Shakur Stevenson Vasiliy Lomachenko fight. You have Shakur fight for a vacant title at 135. You have Lomachenko, who's a mandatory at the WBO. He fights for a vacant title. All of a sudden, you've got these two guys colliding for the unified championship. That's not a bad consolation prize. That's another matchup Top Rank has been desperate to make. And if Devin Haney leaves the division, this gives them the opportunity to do it.
Yeah, but then that's when I would go and play matchmaker for Lomachenko and be like, ooh, I don't know if you want to face this Shakur Stevenson. I mean, he's all wrong for you. So look, I think Loma at this point of his career, what is he now? 30, in his 33 years old, I think. I think it's smart for him to make the right decision, the big money decisions, and stay away from fighters like Shakur unless you really have to face them and want to face them. Devin Haney makes all the sense in the world. Can you imagine Lomachenko, a 3-division world champion, becoming undisputed at 135? That'd be incredible.
Look, Devin Haney's not getting any younger, and it's not going to get any easier for him to make 135 pounds. I'd hate to have him struggle to get there and then look less than his optimal self in a fight against Lomachenko. I think he might regret that.